So
Oh, got it.
we are live. Let me
Okay.
just make sure that I just want to make sure you guys can see both me and Dr. Clint. There we go. We're so good. And I'm going to hit record because this is going to be really juicy. Okay. Mama Zoom said recording is in process. So, hi.
Hi.
Every once in a while, we have a student come into our world, and I just feel a sense of humility at the opportunity of getting to serve such a great person. And Dr. Clint is for sure one of those people. And every interaction with you has been authentic and joy-filled. And even when it's not joy, like even that when we're not throwing a happy party, I still feel like there's this sense of joy in connecting with you. And honestly, you guys, every post, Clint gets on it and he's like, yes, I love this. This is awesome. So Dr. Clint, who are you and where are you and what do you do?
Who am I? Who am I is a big question. Well, my name is Clint. I am somebody who cares deeply about the direction that the world is going in. And I want to be as supportive as I can be in whatever way I can be in allowing others to express their truest, most authentic self physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And what I have found in a long history of different jobs is that serving as a chiropractor is the best way for me to do that, to align people with their truest and highest self and their purpose.
Me too.
So that's probably who I am.
I love that. And we're speaking to practitioners of all trades and all over the world. And if you don't know about the Staffless Practice internal community, like our inner circle family, it's a group of students who I coach and teach and mentor and share the Staffless ways with, and hold their hand, hold their energy, and give my heart experience of being in practice and practicing in a way that feels joyful and authentic and abundant. And the word that keeps coming is Christ-like. Like I feel like the Christ heart in the center of everything I do when it comes to practice. And once a month we pick somebody who really stands out, who's like drinking up every ounce of juice that we're offering. And that was Dr. Clint this month, and we celebrate him all month long. So why did you, when you found out about what we were doing, why did you want to lean into the Staffless Practice teachings?
Honestly, you.
Oh,
yeah, it was, I mean, at the time, I didn't know a lot about the different programs that were I guess I knew a lot about different programs, but I knew a lot about a bunch of different programs, and they all kind of hit the same things in different ways. But what I resonated the most with was, remember when we sat down and had that conversation at Sherman, and I just sat next to you and we talked about something that had nothing to do with chiropractic or business. We were just chatting about, like I was talking to your son, and I just got a real strong sense that I would get along with you. Not in like a friend way where I'm not going to listen to what you're saying, but in more of like a guide or a coach or a mentor. Like I wanted to hear more of what you had to say about whatever. And so that was really what drew me in. And then when you talked about like kind of the relative simplicity of your system, and I was able to compare and contrast that with others in my head, and I was like, oh, well, that sounds right up my alley, because I like structure. I don't like structure, but I know I need it. And so when there's not a lot of it, like the way that you kind of trickle out content is perfect, because, we talked about like how some people dump, and like, that's just overwhelming for me. I don't know where to go, and I end up not doing anything, but having a little bit come out each week is like my style, because I know what I'm supposed to be doing when, and it's just one or two things. I'm like, okay, I can I can jump on that,
Right.
easier. And so that was another thing. And then the automation of it was a big factor, because I do want to be, I don't want to say alone, but I like the idea of this being kind of my space in terms of like authenticity and management. Like I don't want to right now extend myself to trying to manage other people. So anything that's going to help me fly solo for a little while is magical to me. And so all of the stuff that we've been through has been encouraging and supporting that vision. So yeah, that's the gist of it.
And I think you were one of our first students to have, so Dr. Clint is one of the members of what we call Spa Try. It's a 12-week program for truly the only thing that we answer to is front desk efficiency. So what to do with the phone, the scheduling, the money stuff, like how do you get all of it automated in a personal way? And I guess it was like 4 months ago, we changed it to a time drip. So it drips one class every couple of weeks. And it's been really cool to pace it and see people not feel like they have to binge through each thing. So I remember my first online class was with this, she's one of my mentors, her name is Martha, and it was dripped and I couldn't wait for the next class to come out, but it was just enough of a bite for me to chew on for the week. And it was like once every 2 weeks, there was a piece. And she actually introduced me to Attractwell and they became one of our partners, and then the rest is history. So what are the top 2 or 3 accomplishments from your journey with Staffless Practice Academy?
Okay, so I have 3 different things, and for 3 different reasons.
Okay.
The thing that I have found the most beneficial has been the time kit. Primarily in terms of confidence, actually, because I thought we did the time diary, like the 3 or 5 days of like, this is what I just do when I'm not really paying attention, like how the day unfolds naturally. And I would have thought that I was highly inefficient because my brain is just all over the place most of the time. And actually I do pretty well. I'm more organized than I would have imagined. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not so bad. I got this. I had to rearrange a few things and prioritize some stuff. And then I made that pretty time chart or the task list daily schedule thingy. And so that was tons of fun, but mostly just like, oh, wow, okay, it's not as complicated managing my day as I thought it might be with all of the things going on. The thing that I have enjoyed the most is the space kit. Because I like building things. And so like bringing in the plants and decorating and adding colors and hanging curtains and all the things that make it feel like I walk into my work and it feels like home. It feels like what I would have done if I was setting up a bedroom in my house,
Right.
And so I get to be here and like excited. I get to be excited about being in this space. It's not like, oh, I'm going to go to work. Like, oh, I got to go to work. Cool.
Right.
And so I really, really enjoyed that. And then the thing that I'm most excited about is the texting kit. And Cassie just recently helped me a lot. Basically, we had a meeting and she pretty much did it for me. Where she set that up and we did all of the replies to make it sound more like my voice. And there were so many different things in there to like the kind of comments that we have replies set up to that I wouldn't have even thought that people might text about. I'm like, oh, wow, okay, that's a good one. I'm glad, a dozen. I would have had 3. I would have had like 3 or 4.
You'll probably find that you only use a few of them, but you never know which few it's going to be. So,
right.
So what we're talking about, you guys, is we have different kits in our 12-week program. We've got the texting kit, the time kit, the practice space kit, which is like, what do you do with your physical space to make it as efficient as possible? And with the texting kit, our team can meet up with you and catch your words and personalize each template that you build so that you've got a one-click answer to where is your office, or what's the best website to go to schedule, or what are your fees. You can just click your answer and it will show up. And then the other thing that we ask you to do is pick one emoji, and the emoji is in every text to personalize it. And Cassie is our team member who we call her our doula, because she just has a way of making people feel comfortable and smart, especially me. Like when I talk to her, I'm like, okay, I get to feel smart right now, because she's just so kind and she receives information with so much love. So I love that. I think those are three of my favorites too. What would you say to somebody who was on the fence about experiencing our offerings, and they're interested, they're intrigued, but they're reluctant, whether it's a money thing or a time thing? How would you respond to an obstacle like that?
I would say to begin by, because I mean, you've got so much content available, like in the Staffless Practice community, for free. And so I would probably begin by encouraging them to go and listen to you. Just listen to you talk to people, listen to you give out the stuff that you give out. Just trying to support the healthcare community the way that you do, because some of that stuff, well, a lot of that stuff is just invaluable anyway. And then if they get a sense for that information and their sense or their feeling of you, then that's going to help inspire them or inform them as to what is the best decision for them. I wouldn't push anybody in any direction, but like, you're just so, you and your team are so sweet and encouraging and supportive. And even if the content, which it's not, but even if it was kind of like, I would just love talking to you. You know what I mean? Like you all just sort of bring this kind of like, you can do anything vibe, you know? And so, and then you also leave enough room in all of it where it's not like you have to do it exactly this way. Like, here's the foundation, now make it yours. And so I love that about it too, because it's like, it's just, it ends up being the simplest things and the tiniest little details that make me feel like, oh, that is exactly how I would say it, or that is exactly how I would do it. And so I have all of this foundational information and content that's invaluable. But then like, I look around and I'm like, no, I did this. I got to do this. I got to make it mine. And then when people come in, they get to make that. Oh my gosh, the greatest thing about the Space Kit is that I was like so inspired to like, how can someone come in and not experience what I've set up for them, but make it their own experience? And that's what I did with like the client stations. So like, you can pick an essential oil, or you get to choose the color of face cloth that you get, and then you get to write an intention for the session and all this kind of stuff. So, and you don't have to do any
that's
of
a good idea.
but you can do all of it. And so every single station, you get to make a choice. And so your experience is yours when you come in, and it's different every time if you want it to be, or it's the same every time if you want it to be. And so I really, really love that, because it's going to be different for everybody, and it's going to be different for me every time. And that's exciting. And so like, I just got so much out of that. And that's basically how all of it is though. Like the Space Kit is the one that resonates with me the most, because I'm sitting in it and it's gorgeous. But everything is like, you get to put yourself into it, and then that love and that joy and that excitement translates into the texting and into the space and into how you use your time and into everything else. And so when someone comes in, they're going to feel how much fun you have and how much fun you had setting all this up. And then you're going to be essentially, like, as much as you can be stress-free, because it's all set up.
Right.
They get to enjoy it, and you get to enjoy it, and you get to enjoy them enjoying it. Like, I don't know what's bad about any of that.
Nothing's cooler than getting a text or like a Facebook message from one of you guys and like seeing, oh my God, it's working. Oh my God, I just had my first person sign up online and pay in full, and they got directions and I don't have to do anything. And it's really cool to see that happening, because that means that there's more space for you in your world to serve more care. That's wonderful. Is there anything else that you want to share with the community? Anything at all?
Oh, find what resonates with you and believe that it will work, and it will work.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Find what resonates with you and believe that it will work, and it will work. And how do you know if it resonates with you? What is, for someone who doesn't necessarily know what resonating means, what is the
Okay.
experience?
If the draw towards something is greater than the fear of engaging with it, try it out.
Oh, that's really good. That's really good. That's beautiful. That's a good place for us to stop. Thank you for being you and doing everything that you do.
Absolutely. Obviously, my pleasure.
Okay, so if you guys have any questions when you're watching this recording, let us know, and I'm gonna stop sharing on the Facebook.